Dr. Aaron L. Smith is an expert workplace readiness professional and is known around the world for his work. He assists schools, company leaders, and communities to work together to develop and sustain a pipeline of competent and job-ready employees. Imagine that, having people actually ready to go to work when they come to work for you. A best-selling author of 2 books, including Awakening Your STEM School, Aaron is an expert consultant on leading communities, school districts, and individual schools to transform their educational systems to initiatives, grow and sustain the creation of a pipeline of workforce-ready graduates, and get set for his 5-point STEMS initiatives. Welcome, Dr. Smith, to the Nice Guys on Business podcast. So tell everybody, because I wasn't really familiar until I started reading some of your material, tell everybody what the STEM, is it called the STEM system, or is it STEMS initiative, or what is it?
It's the STEMS model. And if I could give you some background here.
Yeah.
When I was working on my second book, it's called Blank Check, Recreating America's Broken Schools. One of the last drafts I was doing was I said, our kids really need to be workforce competent. And in order to do that, I started researching to see what's out there. So there's companies that do individual tests. There's companies that really do some individual training and stuff, but there was no systematic way of doing it. Right. And that's when I said, oh my goodness, nobody's connected the dots, because corporations operate in silos, schools operate in silos, municipalities open in silos, but they all have the common goal. So I said, let me create a system that can uniquely identify and bring everybody together. And that's how STEMS got involved, where it's an acronym, or see the vision, which is the S, take inventory, engage the stakeholder, make action plan, and then set up career and tech ed in the schools. And by doing these 5 steps, you're creating a robust pipeline from the beginning of the schools all the way through the corporate sector.
So Aaron, let me ask you this though. How open is, now I understand if you have let's say a business program or something on entrepreneurship or salesmanship or something that the school can actually see immediately there's potential value for this, and maybe they'll put together a 45-minute welcome Aaron to the school day, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But how do you get, number one, the school to accept your agenda? And secondly, how do you get them to put it in as a part of their, not just like a guest lecture, but a part of their daily curriculum? And how much work, it's got to be a ton of work for a company to do in addition to doing what they do for, to get revenue in.
Yes and no. Believe it or not, it's a lot easier than what you think. The one thing, having been boots on the ground for over 2 decades as an educator, part of my job here is to really coordinate with partnerships in the communities. And that's everything from church to business to our military installations. And I've learned it's just as simple as picking up a phone call. And if you just say, I'm an administrator at XYZ school, I really would love to start a partnership, that's when you invite them in. It starts with a cup of coffee and to share a common dream. Every school district wants community involvement because it goes back to that old adage, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
So, you try to find out what the companies want and what the company needs. And at the same time, hopefully that's going to reciprocate, because as a school system, you want confident and competent graduates to lead. But in order to do that, you've got to have a constant communication in discussing what are the needs from the company and how can the schools help bridge that gap so that they're not missing the skills.